Chair
them.
recognizes the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Marino, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman. Deputy Attorney General, it's good to see you again.
Thank you.
We did a lot of good work together over the years.
Yes, sir.
And I'm proud of it, and I'm still proud to tell people that I was part of the Justice Department. Actually, I have a strong bias for the Justice Department. I know your character. I know what kind of man you are, and I have the most confidence in you that you will direct that agency to follow the rule of law and to see that everything is above board. 99% of the 0.99 of the people that I worked with there are good, honest law enforcement people, and I have ultimate respect for them. They helped me in many cases, even when I was a DA. I would like to ask you to clarify a procedure. And first of all, would you tell me if I'm right here? Special counsel is appointed by the Attorney General, or under the circumstances by you, and that special counsel reports to you.
Correct.
Am I correct in saying that an independent counsel is again appointed by the Attorney General or you, but that counsel is independent and not report to anyone in the essence of, can I do A, B, or C? Is that correct?
Under the independent counsel statute that lapsed in 1999, the appointment would actually be made by a federal judge, so there would be no role for the department in the selection or oversight.
DOJ wouldn't be involved in it at all.
Correct.
Good. Let's talk a moment about, I've been in many interviews with FBI agents, DEA agents, concerning potential cases. And what I've seen handled was above board, but would you explain to the committee what a 302 is?
Yes, a 302 is simply the form number for an FBI interview report. So after conducting a witness interview, an FBI agent would write a summary of the interview, and we refer to that as a Form 302.
And during an interview, whether it's done by attorneys or investigators at the Department of Justice, or it's done back in my district in the middle of Pennsylvania, at some point, is there usually an assistant U.S. attorney present in those interviews?
There's no rule against it, Congressman, but typically not. I would say the majority of interviews would be conducted by two agents without a prosecutor.
Who makes the final determination on whether immunity is granted? It's not by the U.S. attorney or the attorney at Justice Department who could perhaps be handling that case?
That's correct. It would be a prosecutor who would need to make that determination, and depending upon what type of immunity, it might require a higher level of review.
And before any immunity is given to anyone, whether it's absolute or not, we in law enforcement look for a proffer. Is that correct? From that individual or their attorney? What are you going to tell us that why should we give you immunity?
We have a strong preference for obtaining a proffer prior to any grant of immunity. We don't always do it, but we have a strong preference for it.
I have never been in a situation, and perhaps it's not unique, where immunity has been given where there has not been a proffer. Is that, would that be an extreme unusual situation where someone would say, get their immunity, but we have no idea what they're going to say?
I wouldn't want to characterize it, Congressman, as a U.S. attorney. I had to approve formal immunity, and in the majority of the cases, there had been a proffer. If there wasn't a proffer, I typically would ask why. So I can't characterize what percentage of cases might fall into that category.
And also, any evidence that would be collected, such as laptops, computers, things of that nature, pursuant to the investigation, again, there would be a thorough investigation of that equipment before immunity would be given to someone.
It would depend upon the circumstances, Congressman. We'd have to make a determination of whether we believed what was the data might be relevant to the decision.
Right. But there is we just don't give blanket immunity because someone asked for it, or just to get them in to talk.
We should not give immunity just because somebody asks for it, correct?
That's all I have. Thank you very much for being here, and I know you will keep an eye on things and keep everything above board. It's a pleasure to see you again. I yield back.
Likewise, thank you.